start this assembly by installing the two shelves. To get the placement of the shelves correctly, we're going to start by counting down 40 slots from the top of the gondola rack, and that's where the bottom shelf will go. The top shelf will go in the 23rd hole from the top, which is shown here. There are three components inside of the carton. So take off the lid here, and you'll see three boxes. The top box here is miscellaneous, so it's pretty light. The screen assembly is in front, and it's heavy. It's a two-man lift. And then the bottom is the base, and this is also a two-man lift. Okay, so once we open all the boxes, we want to take out the power strip from the miscellaneous box, and that'll go under the base deck. And then we're going to take out the base assembly from this larger box, and we'll show opening that up next. We're now going to take the base deck off and put the power strip in. We'll turn the switch off. We're now going to set the base assembly on the shelf so that we can work on it. This is a two-man lift. Next, we're going to remove the graphic using this piece of tape and carefully remove the printed graphic from underneath. Set these aside, and we're going to take out these two Phillips head screws with the screwdriver that's provided. Next, we'll ensure that the two studs on the bottom of the base assembly go into the holes in the front line of the shelf here. And you'll see the display drop down. Just watch your fingers at that point. And next, what we want to do is remove the shelf with the display on it, and we'll set this shelf onto the bottom shelf. Okay, carefully tip up the display in the shelf, remove it, and set it on the bottom shelf. We'll put the power supplies on the bottom shelf. And we'll replace the display and the shelf back into the 23rd slot from the top. Now the power supplies are behind the top shelf. We're going to continue to run the power supplies behind the bottom shelf, then plug them into the power strip below the base deck. You can remove the packaging at this point too. The next step is to install the screen assembly. To do that, we need to bring the base assembly forward so that the screen assembly can fit behind it. So we'll just pick up the base assembly carefully and slide it forward just an inch or two. And then just make sure that it's stable. We've carefully removed the screen assembly from the box, and on the back of the screen assembly there are two wires that are taped right here. You can remove the tape and then carefully put these two wires through the loop. This is just for shipping purposes. If anything came unplugged, you want to ensure that the black connector here is going onto this green board. The other side is shown as white. So now we're going to put the screen assembly onto the gondola. The next step is to install the screen assembly to the gondola, and there are 6 teeth that hold it to the upright. When you install this, it's going to be a 2-person job, and you want to hold these wires to the front of the screen assembly like this. You can let the wires drop once you have it connected to the uprights. We'll now connect the screen assembly to the base assembly. To do that, we're going to lift up on the top of the base assembly, and this wooden piece is hinged. Inside you'll find 2 circuit boards, and we'll take the 2 wires that we've fed through the back of the base assembly that are coming from the screen assembly into this area. You'll notice that the LVDS wire, or the transfer line, has a white line on the top of it. On the other side it's black. We want to ensure that that white line is facing up and it matches this line here. And we'll connect that carefully, making sure that all the pins are aligned just like that. The other connector has red, yellow, and black wires, and this is keyed so that it can only go in one direction. Connect it just like that. We'll close up the base assembly and then move the base assembly into its final position. The studs go into the front holes just like we did before. Okay, we'll now turn on power to the power strip. The screen turns on, and you'll see a green light and a red light on the dot and the echo. To prepare the devices, we want to make sure that all the packaging is removed. There's a small clear piece in front of the speaker on the Echo Show. And then we're just going to test the Echo Dot and the Echo products and make sure that they're working with the screen. Push the demo button.
Alexa, how many teaspoons are in a tablespoon?
1 tablespoon equals 3 teaspoons.
Alexa, how many tablespoons are in a pound of sugar?
Now we can test the Echo. We're looking for audio from the screen assembly, audio from the device, and lights.
Okay.
Okay, so that looks good. We can push the button again to stop the video, and it'll go back into its silent looping video. We're going to reinstall these 2 screws that are holding the base assembly down. And then we'll carefully replace the printed graphic. And then the acrylic top. Take off this tape, make sure everything's clean. Install these white graphics onto the front edge of the shelves, like shown here. Reinstall the base deck. This plastic shelf liner goes on top and lines up with the holes. And then these Christmas tree clips pop in to hold everything together. So install the shelf liner on the bottom shelf in the base deck, and then use the 2 wing nuts to fasten the base assembly to the top shelf. The very last step is to place the mock boxes according to the planogram.